What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your man Chazzellis once again giving you the information that you asked me for. Um, Here's what happened. I got a question from a girl based on something that she read from me where I talked about the different categories that people get put in. I said guys put girls in different categories. And she was like, what are the categories that guys put girls in and why do they put them in there? Which I thought was pretty cool. There are 5 categories that men put women in. The 5 categories are one night stand, friends with benefits, the friend zone, girlfriend, and wife. Anytime you deal with a dude, you are in one of those categories. Now, the one night stand category is the first one we'll talk about because it's like the shortest one, and we'll kind of use the tier system, I guess. The one night stand category. When you're in the one night stand category, there's really not much you can do about being in the one night stand category other than just not having sex with the dude. That's why I always push the not having sex before you're in some sort of a relationship. And the reason for that is not because you're trying to withhold sex to get a relationship. It's just so you can kind of gauge where you are with a guy before you have sex. Because generally, when you end up in the one night stand category, what has happened is it could be for so many different reasons that have nothing to do with you. Because he doesn't really know you. So therefore, how the hell can he really have a problem with you? It could be because he has a girlfriend. You wouldn't know that if you only slept with him, if you've been around him for a couple of days and then you sleep with him. How are you going to know he's got a girlfriend? You don't know unless he told you, which he wouldn't. It could be because he's just emotionally unavailable or on the rebound at that time. It could be because he's not attracted to you enough that he wants to pursue a relationship. It could be because you are wearing blue and he doesn't like that color. The reason why you could end up in the one night stand category, it's just too many reasons to even really try to go into all of them. And you're never going to know why, honestly, because it's probably not anything to do with you other than the fact that you slept with him. So, one night stand category is really, you really, only way to get out of that is to not do it. Is to not have sex on one night stands. Friends with benefits. You're a friend with benefits for 2 reasons. One of 2 reasons, or maybe even both of them. Reason number 1 is because they don't like your personality. Reason number 2 is they don't feel they have to commit to you. Okay. When I say they don't like your personality, you could be good enough to hang around with every once in a while and have sex with, because that's usually what a friends with benefit thing is. You're not really friends. You're people who get together and have sex. That ain't friends. That's people who get together and have sex. That's fuck buddies. You just put the friend thing on it to make people feel better. Usually when you're in a friends with benefits relationship, y'all ain't friends. So the reason why that's your relationship is like that is usually because they don't really like your personality. They like it enough to be around you as long as there's going to be some sex involved, but they don't like it enough to spend multiple days and weeks around you, because that would be a relationship. Or they like your personality and think you're pretty cool, but don't feel they have to commit to you. Either because you don't require it and they don't feel like they got to commit to you because you don't require that. You're cool with being a friend with benefits, or you will accept the fact that you're a friend with benefits and they want to have sex with other people. Because let's be clear. If a dude is putting you in a friends with benefits category, he either wants to have sex with other people or currently is having sex with other people. And usually it's currently is. Because if he didn't want to have sex with anybody else, he wouldn't want you to be able to have sex with anybody else. And if all you are is a friend with benefits, chances are you're going to have sex with somebody else somewhere down the line. So that's why. So if you're friends with benefits category, if that's where you are, it's because he either A, don't like your personality, or B, doesn't feel like he has to commit to you, and has other shit that he would like to do rather than be your boyfriend. Okay. Number 3, I'm sorry. Number 3, the friend zone. It's dreaded for everybody. Women are in the friend zone too. Now, if you're in the friend zone with a guy, that means that he does not see you as a sexual being. For whatever reason. It could be because he doesn't find you physically attractive. That happens. It could be because of the fact that, and it's usually not that actually, but that does happen. It could be because of the fact that you're actually somebody that's close to him, and he feels like he's not really ready to be in a relationship, so he's thinking to himself, well, if I try to get with her and we have sex or something like that, then it might mess this up, and I'm not really wanting to be in a relationship. It could be for all kinds of reasons. Dudes do that stuff for financial reasons, all kind of stuff. So if you're friends with benefits, it's usually because they don't like your ass. But if you're a friend, if you're in the friend zone, they like your personality. Because otherwise they wouldn't be friends with you. They wouldn't hang out with you. They wouldn't spend time around you if they didn't like you. So they do like your personality. It's just that they don't feel that, for whatever reason, they don't see you as a sexual being. Or they do see you as a sexual being, and they do like your personality, but just don't see you as a person that's girlfriend material. Maybe your past is messed up. Maybe they've seen too much. Maybe you've done too much. But they don't see you as girlfriend material. So you kind of got to figure out why. And once you figure out why, if you want to get in the girlfriend or the wife zone, you can do it. The cool thing about being friends with benefits is harder to make a transition than friends. If you're in the friend zone with a guy and he just doesn't see you as a sexual being because he doesn't think that that's a possibility, could be he doesn't think it's a possibility either. You can make him feel like it's possible. I actually have a video about escaping the friend zone. The friend zone is if you're in the friend zone, here's the crazy part about it. A lot of times that's the most direct line to wife. Like, you could skip girlfriend. If you went from friend zone to somebody they actually wanted to be with, you'd be in the wife zone pretty much like that. Wouldn't even take anything. Because if somebody's already accepting you as a friend, accepting you as more than that is pretty easy. Anyway, number 4 is girlfriend. When you're in the girlfriend zone, they obviously see you as a sexual being. They like your personality. Now, the reason why you're not a wife is because either A, they need to get to know you a little bit more, which isn't your fault. It's time. You know, that's just a time thing. And it's a time in getting to know the better guy you're dealing with, the more he's going to want to know before he jumps into a relationship or a marriage. So that's one of those things where it may not have anything to do with you. It's just time you got to put in. Now, if you've already put in 5 years and you're still not married, he feels that you're lacking key ingredients to be a wife. That's the truth. He could be saying this because doesn't have money. He could be saying this because whatever the hell the reason is. That's a bunch of bull crap. He feels you're lacking key ingredients to be a wife. Because if he thought that you were really somebody that he wanted to get married to, y'all been together for 5 years, he would have made that happen some kind of way. He bought some other shit he couldn't afford. He could have bought a ring. Anyway, number 5. If you're a wife, that means that you have all the ingredients to make him happy. He feels that you have everything that is needed to make him happy. So, if you want to make the transition from any of these other zones, one night stand, you really can't. Because really, the crazy thing about one night stand is one night stands can only make the transition to friends with benefits. That's about as high as you're ever going to get. Because what a friend with benefits usually is a one night stand who just hung around. Who just wouldn't go away. That's usually what a friend with benefits is. It's just a one night stand that wouldn't go away. So they're really kind of on the same level, but one person just got the hint and the other person didn't. I mean, I know that sounds fucked up. I know that sounds fucked up, but really, all friends with benefits are just one night stands that didn't get the hit, and stayed around and let you keep having sex with them. So, but from any of these other zones, from 3 to 4, from three and 4, you can be wife. You can be wife. The friends with benefits, you could do it. You could do it. Because you hung around that long, you hung in there that long, you could do it, but it's an uphill battle. And I did write something, I did one about that before. It's an uphill battle. But you could do it. One night stand is just so far. You know, if you can't get to, you have to at least get to friends with benefits and be there for a while before you can make like a wife, whatever. But so that's kind of what it is. Those are the 5 categories. This is why we put you in them. And it can happen so fast. You have to understand, you could do something one day that pushes you into one category. A lot of women don't realize this, but you jump categories on a regular basis. You go from wife to girlfriend categories, you know, like where he's like, okay, this is a chick I would want to marry. And then you drop right back down to the girlfriend category on some shit that you did. So that's something you got to look at, something you got to watch out for. That's how guys think. We put you in these 5 categories. Sometimes it's fair, sometimes it's not, but that's how we think. Once again, it's your man, Chaz Ellis. Hopefully I was able to help you out. If you got any other questions, make sure you put something in the comment box or you put it in a message. Make sure you like me on my Facebook like page. It's Ask Chaz Ellis on Facebook. And be sure to subscribe. Peace.